Well, hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. If you have been here before, welcome back. And if this is your first time, well, welcome. And please, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so and share, comment, and like. You know, everything that we share together on this particular platform is to spread light, peace, and love around the world. So the more that we share, the more we send that around the world. And boy, don't we need that right now. So today's subject is about building communities, which I'm so passionate about because it seems to be what is my purpose for being on this planet at this time. And it has sort of, generated around me from the date of my awakening. So all my work up until now has always been to empower the individual, to bring people back to remembering who they are and to teach them and guide them and support them to live that practically in their everyday life. And look, we have already, in the last 40 years that I've been doing it, we have got to that thing that used to be somewhere in the future of when we got to critical mass. There have been enough people awakened to this awareness that we have power within us, that we are the creators of our reality, that we actually are the projectors, and our life is the movie for us to watch from the projection. And that isn't always easy to accept because of our conditioning and our programming and our lack of awareness of that, we tend to project a lot of things that we actually don't want in our movie. So that's been really my general work, where I've taught people how to change that and to become the projector of a movie that we really want to experience. So right now, we are at this point where humanity is in chaos around the world because everything that we have run our world by, all the things that we thought we trusted and all the people that are supposed to be in charge and running it, hey, well, they haven't been doing such a good job. Or have they? Maybe they have been doing a great job to make us get to this point where we say, no, we want more, we want better. We are bursting to expand our consciousness, to live into a higher state of frequency where life is beautiful as it is meant to be. So, when we have all this higher state of consciousness, how does this new consciousness begin to organize itself in the physical world? Because I'm an incredibly practical person. Right from the beginning, I've always said, if this doesn't help me live my personal, private life, if it doesn't help me make washing the dishes a greater joy, it's pretty pointless. So everything that I've ever learned, I've really turned into practical implication. So if you would like to stay with me till the rest of this video, I will be suggesting several practical ways of making this transition and really starting to project what we're all asking for. And you know what it says in the heading, I just feel so strongly about New Earth communities is what will take it, all right? Because we are better together than apart. And boy, did we not find that out from 2020. So let's have a look at it. When I was first awakened, I was introduced right from the beginning by the Council of 12, telepathically. I'd never heard of anything like that, didn't know what they were talking about. And they said that I had volunteered, along with many others, to guide people to this birthing of the new earth. And what I'm realizing is it's really not a birthing it is an upliftment of frequency. So we are actually at the moment, and I know many of you feel it, that we are living in two different dimensions. We know when we're in a higher dimension, when everything is synchronistic and we feel at peace and we are in communities of joy and love. And then suddenly something might trigger us and we step out of it. And boy, can we find that. That is just so obvious to us now. As once upon a time, we would not have noticed that. So we're already growing and growing. So, from that very first moment, I was shown what was to happen and how this transition, or not, what needed to happen, not how it was going to happen. So I'm just as curious as you are, as going, wow, what's next? Where is this going? But from the get-go, I seemed to attract people. As I was learning all about this, I just seemed to attract people. They just came from nowhere. And I started with, I think, 3 people who came to me because my life was in absolute crisis. I was going through a marriage break or a marriage collapse. And I just knew my soul was dying if I didn't set myself free, and I didn't know what I wanted to set myself free from. And then people started to come and say, can we join you, and will you share what you're learning? And that is how it all came about. So that's how my community started to form around me. And I still have people from those original days that I'm still in touch with, and I'm still watching how they've developed and grown and changed over those 40 years. So as you go, I love people. I love people. We are so beautiful. We are so beautiful. Well, we're not always beautiful. I know. So this is how the Connect to Soul community formed itself and continues to expand around me. So a communities of average people making a difference in their own lives and shining that light to show the way to others with love, gratitude and unconditional acceptance. So this community that I've formed has now built itself into amazing things. But one thing that comes forward all the time, and for those of you who have followed our community, you know that we do a Monday morning brekkie every week. That's personally, and we can have up to 30 people at breakfast. And when somebody new comes in, I always ask them, what was it like for you? And the one thing they say is this total unconditional acceptance and love. No questions asked, no judgment, just this is who you are, you're looking for a tribe, we're here. And there's so much joy and laughter and sharing and caring and growing together. So that is what the community, the Connect to Soul community looks like. But from that brekkie, which is down here on the Mornington Peninsula in Victoria, Australia, we have already got all these little communities. I have, people who have started one in different suburbs. We've got them in Dingley. We have them out near Lilydale, on the border of New South Wales in Moana, and in Queensland. People are getting together and realizing that they can build something by just gathering and having one common intent, and that is to stop talking about peace, expecting something outside of you to do it. To stop talking about unconditional love, to become it, to be it, to share it. That's what it's about. To stop talking about a new earth, a better world, to actually be it, create it in community together. And this is happening all around the world, as you probably are aware. There are communities growing all over the world that are walking away from what they call the old matrix and going, no, there is a better way and we will live it in a better way. So the new earth begins when we simply choose to come together for a greater good. That's all. Come together for a greater good. And to make new systems to support the whole, learning and experiencing how to live differently together. Rather than in competition and, I'm better than you and I can only be better than you because if I make you less than me. Gosh, hasn't that been a wonderful pattern that worked for us really well, hasn't it? This finger pointing, this not feeling good enough, this feeling inadequate, always striving and driving to prove to someone outside of ourselves that we're good enough to allow us to contribute to life. And that's all in the past. Each one of us has an innate code of creativity, whatever that is, something that is bursting, wanting to come out. Well, set it free, because that's what you came for. So, in Australia, we do have a unique opportunity to experiment with new models of living. Look, we have it all over the world, but because this is a really peaceful land, if we ignore the police, then it is we as humans here, we have peace on this land. And this is a sacred land that is meant to lead the way to a new earth of peace, love, and acceptance. And if you, whoever is listening, have for one moment a minute where you want to say, yes, but what about? You are not aiming for a new earth. You are still trapped in the old right and wrong. And then it's not for you. You're not ready. Because, to get through that gate into the higher frequency, there are criteria. There are things that you and I need to embrace and embody before it can become a reality that we live by together. Okay, in our highest expression of consciousness. And we can do it right now, right here, wherever you are. It's available to you. It's a choice. Not necessarily easy, but let's do it together. Let's stop waiting and wishing and talking about there's going to be an event and there's going to be this and that's going to be that and they're going to change the laws. And, I'm a rebel. They've not passed many laws that are morally in alignment with me. So I live by my laws. And they are to create a loving, peaceful, harmonious world where all of humanity and all of life can continue to grow organically, innately, in harmony, syntropically, for the greater good. So, I would like to share with you, I'm just looking because the council gave me these wonderful things and I've written them down. So if I'm looking down, it's because they've been written down. Oh, and by the way, if you are one that wants to create the new earth with me and all who are on this path, just, share, like, and comment, and subscribe. And by the way, if you want to join these monthly Zoom sessions that I am going to hold starting April 13th, there is a link of how to register in the description box below. But now what I'd like to share with you, which the council downloaded with me yesterday, what does a new earth community look like? Because we can talk about it until we're blue in the face. But if we don't know what it looks like, well, how are we going to be able to know when we get there? First of all, it's not a place, but it's people. It's people. Okay? So the first thing I've already mentioned, the first thing that we have to embody is unconditional acceptance. Having clear discernment based on neutral observations. So you start to observe life without getting invested, entangled, having an opinion, just seeing what it is. And then looking within yourself and making a discerning decision of how to respond. Are you going to respond in a downward spiraling frequency, or are you going to respond not at all? Not at all, because it doesn't resonate with you and it's not your stuff? Or are you going to respond in an uplifting, inspiring way? That's all. Okay, so a neutral observation rather than an analytical assessment or judgment and blame. So that's the first one, to be able to live in a community of the new earth. The second one is transparency. We've heard a lot about transparency. A safe place to speak your truth. Share your emotions and be there for each other. But what is your truth doesn't necessarily have to be someone else's truth. And this is where we fall down time and time again. Because someone can be telling you exactly what they see, how they feel, and how they're affected. And if that isn't in alignment with you, you think that it's not true. But it's true for them. It may not be true for you, and that's fine. We're not meant to be always all the same. We're not cloned. Well, hopefully not. So accept and have respect for another person's lens that they're looking through. It might teach you something. So transparency means that you walk, I will say walk naked. It doesn't mean taking your clothes off. It means that you have nothing hidden, that you are who you are wherever you are. Because if you're living in a high state of frequency, we are going to be sensing each other telepathically, frequentially, so there's nothing to hide anyway. And for those of you who know me well, there's never anything to hide from me, because I can sense your frequency. And you can say one thing, and if it's not in alignment with the projection of the energy of you, I just go, So self-honesty, transparency needs to come with self-honesty. The third one is an attitude of appreciation and gratitude. Hey, how can you live this life without that? You know, my whole being is just buzzing with gratitude and appreciation for every moment, for the air I'm breathing, for the fact that we have this technology that we can, I can talk to you. How amazing is that? I come from an era where a radio was actually a luxury. Huh? Okay, so to me, technology, I love it. I love that I'm able to reach out and speak to thousands of people all at once while sitting in my office with the sun shining. How amazing! How can you not be grateful for that? How can you not be incredibly appreciative of this incredible body that we live in? Right? Be grateful for life itself, for you as the vehicle, right? This is the vehicle. Okay, for you as the vehicle. Honestly, it's the only way that you can experience this life, through this vehicle. How can you not be in gratitude of that? I am so in gratitude of that. The fourth one is love. Oh, that's a great word, love. Oh boy, has that been misused and misinterpreted. But it begins with self-love and a deep appreciation for what you have and who you are. I am so in love with me. Yeah, that sounds weird, doesn't it? But for me, I know that without me there is no life. I am so fortunate that I have health, I have abundance, I have love, I have joy, I have constant excitement, and life that wants to keep living and expanding through me, for me, as me. That is love, pure love for life itself. That is how the new earth will be, in the golden age, where people will see life as an opportunity for expressing themselves in their truth, in their creative self-expression. So sharing and caring is the next one. So in the fifth dimensional consciousness, there is no ownership. So whatever I have, hey, I'll share. There's no ownership about this is mine and that's yours and that's his and that's what. Whew. Whatever you need, if someone else has it to share, they will offer it unconditionally. And you know what you have the most of to give? Love. If you love life, if you love yourself, the more you love yourself, the more you love life, the more love you have to give. Right? It's beautiful. The next one, that's the sixth one, unity consciousness. And that's a knowing that all of life is connected, that we live in an electromagnetic field of cause and effect. Well, I think we're starting to find that out, are we not? I certainly have. That we cannot harm another without harming ourselves. Well, there are a lot of people on this earth that have not worked that out yet. But we'll know. We cannot. It's cause and effect. You know, the life outside of us that we think is reality is a reflection of the life inside of us. So the more at peace you are, the more love you have within you, the more you see everything from a lens of beauty and abundance and joy and gratitude, the more of that you will live. It's really simple. Not necessarily easy, but it's simple. You know, with that goes accountability for impact. We cannot harm another without harming ourselves, but just a small put down for another will diminish the perpetrator as much as the targeted one. So if you think that you're feeling better because you have put someone else down, watch your back and your front. Can't do it. You're diminishing yourself just by doing that. Blame, judgment, it diminishes the person, the perpetrator of that, as much as the one that it's put upon. It's a low vibrational frequency that belongs in a very dense state of consciousness. Not in the new earth. Definitely not in the new earth communities. 7. Being one with nature. Oh, yes, absolutely. Do you know the funny thing is that we think that, oh, we love nature. But what do you think we are? You know, what are we? Embodying the truth that we are part of that nature. I will see us as flowers of the human tree of, what do I call it? The human tree of life. To be nurtured, appreciated, and loved. We look at flowers and trees, we hug trees and all of that. But when it comes to somebody else or ourselves, no? Well, if you want to be in New Earth communities, better start practicing. 8, coming together with purpose. Oh, yes. Come together with purpose, having intent. To walk away from what is no longer serving to inspire, expand, and embrace fully the responsibility of creating a new world founded on love, peace, and harmony for all. So, for us to create these communities, we need to walk away from that, not with judgment or not trying to fix it. It's not fixable. It's meant to be there. It's meant to be. That's what lower density does. That is lower density. If we want to live in a higher dimension and a higher frequency, then we must just walk away, saying thank you, but no thank you. Don't give it any power or any energy, just a discernment, a decision, a choice, an empowerment, and an embodiment. That's what that's about, right? 9. There are 10, by the way, so we're nearly there. Sovereignty. Oh, now that's a word that you hear a lot. A lot. What does that mean? It means accepting accountability. Oh, I'm coming back to that one. Accepting accountability for the truth that we are the creators of our reality. And if we do not accept that as a truth, we cannot move into a higher state of consciousness, because that is the foundation of it. And we need to restore a society not led by governments, but led by self-governing, where leadership comes from an inner calling to nurture and support all of humanity to live their best, most creative lives. I'm going to say that again because that is really, it's paramount, isn't it? They're all paramount. This one is a big one. I highlighted it all. Accepting accountability for the truth that we are the creators of our reality, and we need to restore a society not led by governments, but be self-governing, where leadership comes from an inner calling to nurture and support all of humanity to live their best, most creative lives. That's what we're here for. And that is what the New Earth communities will look like. It'll be a nest where people are able to do that because they're fully supported and loved, celebrated. Yes? And here we come, number 10, for, what it looks like, what it'll look like. Okay, these are all points of things that you will see in the New Earth community. Creative self-expression as your life work. Yay. Allowing your encoded talents, natural abilities to be fully expressed in service of the support and expansion of the whole. Not looking for a job to pay the bills. Yay. Well, that's a big one to overcome, isn't it? But as we know, all these, economic situations are changing, and it comes back to the fact that we are the creators of our own reality. So why would we create lack? Only if we embrace fear. And I did not see fear in any of those, those areas of whatever I was just sharing. I'm losing the plot. No, I'm not losing the plot. I don't want to miss out on anything that I'm supposed to give you. So, building communities together. Again, please, if you feel that you want to build a community, just start. We started our breakies with 3 people. Now we're up to nearly 30 people. Well, and they go off to have dinners together, they go camping together, they have a whole life beyond the breakies. Okay, so all you have to do is invite a few people and begin. That's a community. That's a community. Okay, not a commune. Don't have to live together. Well, you do. You have to live together in peace, but you need to take that home into your families, okay, into your local communities, your neighbors, etc. Okay, so this is all telling you about what it looks like. Now, what I would like to do, now usually I do a, invocation or a meditation. But this time, what they've given me is a visualization to really, really embed within you this picture of a New Earth community. So just gather yourself and relax, and let's dream New Earth community into place together, shall we? So let's close our eyes. Well, I won't, but because it's all been downloaded and I have written it down. So please, you close your eyes. And just start to observe your breath like you do for meditations. Just calm everything and just be open. Okay? Just be open. And now we're going to create some pictures. One of the things, the most valuable things that humans have is the power of imagination, of dreaming. So we're going to dream it into place together. So imagine that, you're waking up early in the morning and you step outside your home. And somehow everything looks brighter than before. The colors are more vibrant, the air is crisp and clean, the sounds of birds awakening are beautiful. The air is quiet. The sun is just rising, and you begin to hear gentle sounds of life around you. A neighbor walks past and smiles. Someone is tending to their garden. Children are laughing somewhere in the distance. There is no urgency, no rushing, just a symbiotic ease. There's a quiet understanding that everyone here is part of the same living field. You walk along a small path and see people gathering. It's a local market. Some are sharing food they've grown. Others are talking about new ideas, ways to care for the land, ways to support one another. There's creativity, conversation, music, learning, celebrating. Each person brings their gifts, and those gifts naturally support the whole. You feel something very deeply in your body, a sense of belonging. Because you recognize that this is how human beings were always meant to live. Connected, supportive, alive. And as you stand there in that moment, you realize something very important. This New Earth community did not arrive from somewhere else. It was created by ordinary people who simply choose to come together with love, respect, and a shared vision for a better way of living. And that is when you understand the deeper truth. The new earth is not a place we wait for. It is something we begin to build whenever and wherever we choose to walk this path together. Take a deep breath, integrating this vision with the intent to live it right now, wherever that may be. It is not the world, governments, or self-elected leaders that will create New Earth. It is us, the people, together as one, with one intent. We are the ones that are creating it. It is happening all around us. But remember, we build it together. Because we know what it's like when we are apart. So let us make this commitment and dedication deep within our heart and soul, that from this day and every day forward, we have one intention, and that is to build New Earth communities together as one, for one. We will build it through us, for us, as us. It's already happening. And so it is. Taking one more deep breath, slowly open your eyes and look at a new world of your creation, of our creation, because of our intent to project a higher state of living, a higher state of consciousness, where all are respected, loved, appreciated, supported, and celebrated. That's my New Earth. That's my community. So, how about commenting about yours? Have you started one, or do you want to start one? Then put in the comments where you are, call people together, and begin. And it will segue beautifully into the monthly Zoom sessions that I'm going to hold on the second Monday night of the month, starting in April, where we will gather with only that intent. We are not going to gather to talk about what the other side is doing. We will be intent on how we are creating this New Earth environment so people can find us. So thank you for your time with me once more. And remember, please share, comment, like, and I'll see you there, wherever that is. It's a beautiful world that we together are building, not wishing for, not hoping for. We are building it intentionally from the heart and soul. I love you. Let's do it. See you next time. Bye.